Welcome back. I want to just say, first off, thanks a lot for you guys that have already subscribed. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe that. Hit that subscribe button, follow, and leave your comments on the video. I would really appreciate it. In this video, I want to talk about, I'm going to tell you a story about an army buddy of mine's and some recent events that that has been happening to him. He is a blue pillar. And let me first start off by saying, about 5 years ago, if you don't know already, you know, I'm a MGTOW, but I'm also a Christian, so you're gonna be hearing some, you know, some Christian things and whatnot. But anyway, about 5 years ago, I started going to this men's Bible study at my church. And this particular Bible study, it was held on Saturday, and the reverend, excuse me, not the reverend, there was a deacon that was hosting the men's Bible study. And he was telling, again, warning, this is going to be, you know, Christian stuff. I know most of you MGTOW don't believe in God or spirituality or whatever, but just bear with me. Now, he gave us an example of, you know, as a Christian, you're not supposed to be shacking up with somebody that you're not married to. And he gave us the group an example of, you know, you're living with your girlfriend, you know, you're sleeping with her, and everything's fine. Everything's going good. Then she gets pregnant and everything's going fine. And then he said, one day she decides, you know, after she has her baby, one day she decides that, you know what, she doesn't want to be with you anymore. Now she leaves you, or she moves out, and she has your kid. She has your kid, and now she may be with another guy. And now you have to worry about, especially if you have a daughter, you know, you have a little girl, your ex-girlfriend is now living with another man, and he's raising your daughter, or he's in the same house with your daughter or your kid or your son. And he gave that example, and that was like 5 years ago. About 2 years later, I met up with a army buddy of mine. He's right now, I would say he's in his mid to late 20s. He's still in his 20s, and he's been in the military for at least 9 or 10 years. Yeah. And when I first met him, or maybe 6 months into a year of meeting him, I would always hear stories about him and his girlfriend always arguing and stuff like that. And I believe he was with his girlfriend for a while. And every time that he would leave he would be on army leave, active duty leave or whatnot, for long periods of time, he would always have arguments with her. We would always hear him over the phone, you know, even in Iraq, he would just be, I heard stories about him arguing with his girlfriend. And, you know, I think he was deployed twice or something to Iraq. He was always arguing with his girlfriend. And apparently she was a complete psychopath. But he still stayed with her. I don't know exactly how long their relationship was, but they were together for a good amount of time. And they actually have 2 children together, 2 small children. They have to be under 3. They have to be 3. I guess his oldest child has to be at least 3 or 4 or something like that. And he has like a baby recently. He has to be 1 or 2 years old baby. So he has 2 kids by this woman. And she would always call him and bug him, especially when he would go away for long periods of time. He would just say, she always pulls his stuff. She always bothers me, gets on my nerves and whatnot. So yeah. And he would also, he also told us a story, maybe I shouldn't be sharing this, that he had an affair. He actually slept with her sister. He had an affair with her sister, which is weird. And he also would, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with the military, but these military, these military people or soldiers, from my perspective, they are really, 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 really sexualized. They're always talking about sex. I would say at least 80% of their conversation is all about sex or just graphic sexual type of stuff. So he would just, just like most army people, most army guys, tell us about his crazy sex stories and stuff like that. One time he said he had some kind of, I don't even want to get into it because it's nasty. Swapping partners, him and his girlfriend and whoever or something like that, swapping partners or something like that. So anyway, I believe last year or earlier, I think it was last year, or maybe it was early this year, I don't remember. He comes in one day and he says they broke up. And actually, I think last year, they were purchasing a new house. But apparently, I guess it's under his name, and that was last year. This year, I believe they broke up. But he comes in, he's complaining, and he's saying that he has to pay her $900 a month, and not by the court. He said he didn't want to get the court involved, because if he got the court involved, it would probably be more. And we were just shocked and amazed. And guess what? At that point, she was still living in his house. And he was paying her $900 a month. And he took the sofa. He was sleeping on the sofa. She took the room. And the other guy's just like, why don't you just kick her out? Or you tell her it's your house. You tell her to sleep on the couch. And he's like, no, that's okay. It's just easier this way. So he's paying her $900 a month, and he's sleeping on his couch. So 5-6 months go by. I haven't seen him in a long time. And I see him recently, and he's telling us, I knew he was going through some problems or something like that, some crazy stuff with his kids. Because the stories just continued. Apparently, he told us recently, he came home one day. I'm not sure if this was recent, or I guess it happened like a couple months ago. He came home. He says, all my stuff is gone. Everything in the house gone, clean. She took the tables, the chairs. She took the chairs. She took everything, the curtains. She took everything. Out of his house, she took everything. Everything. And, yeah. And I think he said he's paying like $1,000 a month now. I guess maybe the court got involved. So she took everything out of his house. And I think she has, I'm not sure about the custody. I'm pretty sure she took the kids too. Maybe they have joint custody or something like that. But I was just amazed and shocked and amazed. I didn't tell him about MGTOW because I don't think he's ready for that. And I'm not even sure that he'll ever be ready for it. But also, when he said that he, earlier this year when they broke up and she was still living in the house, he met this girl on Tinder, and apparently the guys were just kind of talking about this new girlfriend behind his back or something like that, and said I didn't look at her. They were saying that she kind of looks like a crackhead or something like that. But he found this girl on Tinder. Apparently he has not learned his lesson. He found this girl on Tinder, and he's sleeping with her or something like that. they hooked up or something. They hooked up for one night or something like that. And I think he said he felt kind of sad or sorry, and asked her, did they want to go out again or something like that after, I guess, they slept with each other or something like that. And I guess they started dating. And now he has like weird, there's just like, I heard a story that from the other guys that there's like this weird people come over his house now. Like there's this guy, he comes over and he wears like fishnet stockings or something like that and high heels. And the other guys were saying, this one guy, this other soldier, he was like, you know what? He wouldn't, if it wasn't for this girl, before this girl, he would never let anything like that in his house. He would never, which was weird. But yeah, I just wanted to share that story with you. Yeah, he hasn't learned his lesson at all. At all. He has not learned his lesson at all. And I kind of feel for the guy because I want to tell him, but I don't think he'll listen, because he's still, you know, he's just like most people, he's like over sexualized. You know, the last time I saw him, he's telling the guys like, you know, his freaky, weird sexual encounters with her. You know, as soon as he comes home, you know, he walks in the door and she's doing whatever. And they do their thing, whatever. He hasn't learned his lesson. It's like, do you want to have, what do you want to do? You want to have more kids? You want to have another child with this girl, one or two more kids, and pay another $1,000 a month? And he's complaining about it. Doesn't learn, doesn't get it. I guess some guys don't get it. I believe there was I was listening to a video from Mayor of MGTOW, and I think he was saying himself, like, some guys, or maybe he's thinking some guys you can't tell. You just got to use, you know, you don't want to use them, but you have to, they serve as an example of what not to do. You can't really get to them. I'll try to share, if I think I could get through to him, I'll try to share. I'll try to talk him into, not talk. He's not ready. You know, he's still in the Matrix. He's still blue pill. But it's really sad. It's really sad, you know, that he would trade. You know, he's had a lot of fun. It seems like he enjoyed himself. He enjoyed himself a lot, but at what cost? And he does seem really stressed, because I haven't seen him in like 3 or 4 months. And apparently this is why, because this whole entire situation with his kids and his ex, and it's sad. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. Learn from other people's mistake. Learn from this example. I'm learning from it. I'm taking something out of it. It's just not worth it. And that's pretty much it. I'll check you guys out later. If you haven't already, I really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button. Leave your comments, thumbs up, thumbs down.